Hey, Beady Besties. Happy Thursday, my loves. Happy Thursday. I hope you all had a great Thursday. It was nice here. I was really productive today, guys, and I've been playing with a lot of jewelry lately, as you guys will see, hopefully, coming out this week. But yeah, it was a great day. The weather was nice, other than being obnoxiously hot. But I know it's hot everywhere, guys. So just keep staying cool, be safe. Don't be outside exerting yourself too much. Yeah, you guys know. You guys know. All right, guys. So let's get into today's fun and shenanigans. But first, you already know. Let's pull our card. And if I tell you, you know one more time, feel free to tell me, no, Kyle, I do not. Okay, and just for old nostalgia's sake. All right. So today's wordy wisdom is: rock bottom became the solid foundation on which I rebuilt my life. And I have to take a minute looking at that, guys, because, yeah. And what's funny is I dropped my cards earlier and I shuffled them up and I did like a cut in the deck and I said, this is the card I'm going to need to hear today. And this is the card that we got, so. All right, my friends. So let's talk about it, okay? Let's talk about it. So recently, the Gemstone Orphanage came out with their 50th anniversary box, and we are going to be making some earrings with that today. But as you guys know, I'm always out here talking about the Gemstone Orphanage Facebook group and all of the fun we have over there, the contests, all of the things that go on there. So this month is no different, my friends. We are having a contest, and I'd also like to take this opportunity to welcome aboard our new member, Miss Chrissy, who will be, I believe, handling the Facebook community, pretty much, her and Miss Debbie. I'm determined, guys. I'm determined to finish some of these contests. I'm gonna do it. You guys know I start out strong, and then I sometimes, okay. I'm not exactly the follow through guy, but we're gonna work hard for Chrissy because she deserves to have a nice fun group, and that's what we're gonna do. So anyway, so this week, guys, until the 19th, I believe, the contest is to design jewelry using blue, which is Debbie's favorite color. And as you guys know, if you saw the unboxing, the box is blue and black, and then black is Mr. Steve's favorite color. And then from the 20th to the 25th, you guys should make your black designs and submit them into the Facebook group. And then on the 26th, which is the Party Line Live, which is the last Saturday of every month over there on the Homestrung Jewelry YouTube page. And guys, fret not, my loves. I will put all of the information in the description box, of course. Yeah, and so there will be some kind of, I think, winnings or something. But guys, if you go over and look in the rules there, the guidelines over there in the group, it'll tell you exactly when all the shenanigans happen. But I will tell you this little bit of shenanigan. This Saturday in the YouTube over there at 12 noon Eastern Standard Time, if you will, we're doing a yard sale. So we're having another yard sale. And guys, if you have not attended a Gemstone Orphanage yard sale, oh my goodness. Okay. Oh my goodness. So amazing. And Debbie switched. She's going to do it a little different this time, my friends. And I think it's actually going to be a lot easier for her. And I think it's also going to be a lot easier for us. So I'm really looking forward to that. I will, of course, be there because I like to bring the fun and shenanigans there. Okay. So if you guys were a part of a recent live with Jody and I did make these earrings, and they're super, super cute. And we used a lot of the blue beads. So we used the Swiss topaz, and we used these light blue stars. And we also used a darker blue crystal. And we also used some seed beads in here that I got from Danielle Wicks. And I think that, and you will see these seed beads with the other earrings as well, I think. Yes. It's all about the stars today, my friends. It's all about the stars. But anyway, yeah, and I think they just go perfect with this box. And Danielle still has them in her shop. So I think they're like sapphire lined crystal. They're really cool. They're like, or navy. They're really dark blue, but they have like the clear on the outside. So they're the lined. And I think that they're just the perfect color to pick up this palette. So I made these earrings on that live. And I was very chatty, my friends. We were very chatty, as we do when ladies get together. Okay, we get to the chatting. And I didn't really give instructions. I just kind of chatted away. And so one of you had asked if I could do a tutorial for these earrings, and of course I would love to. So this is what we are doing today. So for this one, you are going to need all 6 of your light blue stars. You're going to need 2 of these rhinestones, thingy things here, the rondelles. You're going to need 2 crystals. Now I chose these darker crystals to kind of bring out my seed beads, and let me show you the seed beads. And this is what they look like. This perfect little, don't they just look like a perfect little starry night sky? Oh, I love those. So yeah, so we have those stuck to my hand. And we don't need a whole lot, but of course I like to put a lot out because it makes me feel really good. And then we're also bringing in some 15 O's, and these were the same 15 O's that were in, I believe, Danielle's box. If I could buy these by the truckload, I just love these as a simple spacer. They are absolutely perfect. I love them in the metal colors because they're a lot. Well, I mean, metal spacers this small usually aren't heavy, but these are just lighter, and I feel like they just retain their color better. I love using these small little seed beads and also crimp beads in place of metal spacers and whatnot. Especially in like a delicate project like this where we have, we have just a very delicate pattern. So just let you take a look of that. And we're also bringing in some bead caps. You're going to need 4 of those. You're going to need some ear wires. And we are going to need some head pins. I've got ball head pins here. We are doing silver. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just laying out my beads. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh yeah, I'm sorry. I probably should have told you how many you need of those. You need 16 of the smoky topaz. So I'm just going to lay my beads out, because then when I string, I just like to go ahead and be like a little Pac-Man and just string. Okay. Sorry guys, I made these earrings a while ago. I don't remember. So I'm putting one of these beautiful seed beads in between each. And then we are also doing 2 of these on either side. I'm not going to put those in the pattern. I'll just go ahead and scoop those up. And then we're going to be hanging these. Now in the middle here, you can see I did 5 of the 15 O's there. So those stars just kind of play together. So we'll do 3, 4, 5. Okay. So we have 5 in the middle. And then we have the jump rings. We are using 4mm jump rings. And how many do you need, Carl? Be good to know that. You will need, so 2 of the stars have 1 jump ring, and the other star has 3 jump rings. So you will need 5 jump rings for each earring. And that just kind of gives us this little, the center one's just a little bit longer. All right, guys, and our stringing material, we are going to bring in our Pimp Daddy spool of 22 gauge. Bead-along German style wire, which I could also use this on. I did not bring my ruler over. I know, everybody's as shocked as I am. So let's see, how much are we going to cut of this, Kyle? Enough would be my answer, but I'm not trying to get in trouble with the boss. So let's see, let's cut about this much. I don't know, guys, like 10 inches. You probably don't need that much, probably 8 inches, but bless you. Error on the, this is way too much wire. You don't need this much wire. But I'm just gonna, this is way too much wire. You don't want it so long that you can't work with it. Okay. So now what I'm gonna do first is, I'm just gonna go ahead and straighten this out. Just a teensy. Guys, I think I'm gonna have to move my tool somewhere else, because I'm going to have to put another light in here because I don't have a center light and I feel like it's a little dark. I don't know. We'll see. All right. So we just want to, we don't want to work hard in it per se. We just want to straighten that out a little bit because it gets a little spooly on the spool. All right. And this is just a little pro tip, my friends. When you do earrings like this, what I like to kind of do is I will take one of the ends and I'll just turn a small loop here. Right, just so when we start loading the beads down, you don't have to worry about them falling off. You don't have to worry about a bead stopper, because sometimes bead stoppers fall off of wire. So I just like to turn myself a little loop. And then before we go and, you know, we can do all our stuff. And then before we finish it, we just cut it off. All right, my friends. So I'm going to start our pattern, which is a 15-0. Then we're going to go seed bead, 15-0. Then we're going to go into our first topaz. Okay. And then we're going to go 15-0. I should probably pour some a little closer over here to me, huh? I'm not going to bother pouring those. I'm just going to pour these here. Because if I try to move those over there, friends, then we're talking about, we'll be here till next Friday. Okay. So we're going to do 15-0, seed bead, 15-0, and then a topaz. And that's our pattern. Okay. Just pretty. And then I will continue that. I know I don't have to say 15-0 before everyone. You guys know what I'm doing. So how was your week, my friends? I hope you all had an amazing week. I would have been here sooner, except I was waiting on to see if any of the gang showed up for food. So we've been having lots of raccoons and possums here, my friends. Lots of raccoons and possums. We had 6 raccoons yesterday. I don't know. Well, I didn't see them all at the same time. Okay, but I saw 2 at one time, and then 4 more. But it could have been the same other. I don't know who it was. I'm just we're all starting to get to know each other. I'm just learning names. We now have Michael Phelps. Michael Phelps likes to do water sports, so that's why he got his name, Michael Phelps. He likes to play in the water, so we were watching him play in the water and just having a good old time. And I started giving them grapes. So then I got the bright idea. You know, I'm going to give this dude, I'm going to give him some enrichment. So I started putting the grapes in. I was putting ice cubes in the water. One, because it's really, really hot and I want them, to be cool. But also because, it was fun watching them play with the ice cubes. So let me just make sure that is 4. So that is 4. So we have done this whole first side. And now we're going to put on our 5 seed beads that I just took from. Listen, friends, we all share here. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So anyway, so now I'm putting the grapes in the water for enrichment. Sorry about that, moth. And he's just been enjoying that. And it's just so much fun to watch. And then of course we have possums too, guys. We have a whole bunch of possums. I did see Tony Two-Tone today. Tony Two-Tone was here. And, I don't believe the stories about him, friends. I don't believe the story. They say that he, runs deep with, fish lips for Nancy there. And, they was ankle deep in Schenectady. But I don't know if I believe that they were ankle deep in Schenectady. Because I don't even think possums have ankles. So, I mean, don't believe everything you read. But he seems like he's got himself together now, Tommy Two-Tones. And I haven't seen fish lips for Nancy in quite some time, so... Which is good, because he was kind of bringing the value of the neighborhood down a little bit. I'm just saying. Anywho, so yeah, all the outside animals are doing great. Today they enjoyed some hard-boiled eggs with their grapes, as well as their raccoon kibble, which is 3/4 dog food, 1/4 cat food, dry food. And then they also get some, and we give them the high-protein dog food because I read that a lot of the, normal regular dog foods are better for them than cat food, guys, but also not great for them because they don't have enough protein. So we get the Blue Buffalo, that wilderness one, and I think we get the Alaskan trout, or is it Alaskan salmon? I don't know. We get a pink bag, I think, is the salmon, and I think the trout is in the blue bag, but it's very high in protein, my friends. Let me tell you, these raccoons want for nothing. And they all get along, which I love. So they all sit out there and they eat together. I've only seen one altercation so far. And that's because, I think it might have been a situation where, over a girl probably. That's how it always starts. There's some Sheila involved, and then everybody loses their minds and nobody can get along. Oh my God, such drama. But But this was a while ago, so I think they've got together since then. I think they've worked their differences out, you know, and I'm happy for them. But yeah, it's been wild. Oh, they had peanut butter and cheese crackers too. That's a staple. They get peanut butter and cheese crackers. They get their raccoon kibble. They get some fun little dog treats, and they get all kinds of treats. They get, we went to the, what is that place out there? Tractor Supply. I love going to the Tractor Supply store. Okay, guys, I don't have a tractor and I don't have a farm, but I love going to the Tractor Supply store, and I like to look at the little chickens and the ducks and stuff. That's so much fun for me. But yeah, so we went out there and we got some, like all kinds of little fun biscuity treats with like apples and bananas and all just fun stuff for them. So they're doing really well. Us, not so much. Wayne's had to take on some Uber jobs to afford it, but no, I'm just kidding. But seriously, I'm just making sure I'm not missing one here because there's an extra one and I don't know why. Looks like I got them all. Guys, are you looking? Am I missing anything? Boop, 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 boop. No, looks good. Okay, so we're just missing one of these, and then we get to do the fun part, which I don't like. But before we do that, no, we'll do the stars last because that's the easy part. Let's do the part that I don't like, which is the bending of the wire, my friends. This is not my favorite. All right, so we're gonna bring in our good old beadsmith. Shout out to the beadsmith. I now work for their creative. What does Miss Leslie do besides run the world? Okay, creative director. Yes, I'm just cheap plug. Okay, so now we're gonna go ahead. Call us a mess today, my friends. We are just having a good time. All right, it's almost the weekend, and I'm ready. Not that I really do anything during the week, but so now I'm just kind of just finding which one of these mandrels on this lovely wire shaping tool. Beadalon also puts one out that's purple, and it's a shocker that I don't have that one because it's purple. But I just never got that one. I got this one instead. This one was on sale at Amazon. So I said, I don't care, it's fine. Gray is fine, I like gray. So anyway, we're just kind of shaping this a little bit, and we will go back to this tool and shape some more. I was just making our little basic, this is our basic shape here. And again, like I said, we will go back because it's a little eggy, but we will go back and reshape. Now, sometimes when you put these little tiny beads up here at the top, they can be troublesome. So just watch out for those. But I did it anyway, because why not? All right, my friends. So I'm crossing these wires here. I'm trying to keep these seed beads from crossing themselves. Okay. One of these wires is going to go back here, and then this wire is going to go up here. And we just make sure that our seed beads are not a casualty of this bend here, because then it will be wonky. Okay, there we go. So now we have this like lollipop-ish loop here, and we got this guy in the back. So now we're going to hold this with our fingers because we don't want this to come out of place too much. And then we're going to bring this wire up. So they're kind of like making a 9 o'clock, right? And then we're going to continue with this wire, and we're going to hold this shape here, right? And we can do it slowly, and then we're going to wrap. So I'm going to wrap a couple times. Oops, sorry guys. So this is what we have, right? And you can go ahead and cut that now. And it doesn't have to be super great, guys, because, sorry, we're going to cover that up anyway. But you do want a little bit of a base here to cover. Oh, sorry. Oh my God, I'm just so noisy today. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and we are going to cut that. All right, then we have our little lollipop. Now we are going to also make sure there's no sticky bob. Okay. All right. I'm going to push that down. Again, doesn't have to be perfect. We're going to cover that up. Now, if you would so choose, and you want to run this and try to reshape it, I do this several times. I kind of just shape it for, like, you know, until I like what I see. And we're getting there. That's pretty decent. That's a pretty decent circle. We will revisit that tool again. All right, my friends. So now what we're going to do is we're going to do this middle portion. So we are stacking, and see this collar, if you're using the 22 gauge wire, will fall right over those wraps. And then we're going to put a bead cap on top of that, and that will cause that to settle in there nicely. It'll just kind of cup. See how that bead cap just kind of cups right in there, just like a cup. And then we're going to drop our bead into its cup. And then we're going to find another bead cap somewhere on this mat. Oh, I just left, oh, look at all this wire. Okay. And so that's what we have. And that's just pretty, I think. And find a front and a back. I think this will be our front. I don't think it really matters, but that's just a pretty little thing. All right, now I've done a couple wraps up here. Looks like I did 4, maybe 3 or 4. So we want a nice little bend, so we can fit like 4 wraps in here. And I forgot to use my other pliers, but I think I use these pliers in the sample. So sometimes, see, I use these pliers over on my work desk, and then and they're a little bit. My green pliers are a little bit bigger, and so when I do my green pliers over on the filming desk, sometimes my bends are inaccurate because of the plier size. But this looks pretty good. Okay, and then we're going to line that up there. We're going to center it up, and then we're going to start our wraps. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, there we have our wraps, and that's looking good. So this is the back, and we will cut this. And then we will find this thingy bob, and we will just put him in there. And that loop is looking pretty good. It's looking nice and loopy. Sometimes they go it's a little eggy, but I think it's passable. But if it goes a little eggy, you can always just stick your pliers in here, find out where it's going wrong, and then just try to correct it gently. I find that most times you can correct it. Okay. And then again, we are going to run this because sometimes when it's only 22 gauge wire. Now you can use 20 gauge wire if you want. But also if you're using craft wire, just know that this is going to be a little bendy, right? So you might have to reshape a couple times. All right, now we're going to do our stars, and I already have one of these wrapped up. So we have some ball head pins, and these are just a simple ball head pin. Guys, we're not doing wire wraps. We're just doing simple wraps. We gotta find... That music sounds a little loud, doesn't it? Hold on, guys. I'll be right back. And we're back. Sorry about that. Sometimes the music, I don't know, it just it gets louder. I don't get it. But anyway, so we're going to take our pliers here, and we are going to bend, and then we're going to cut. And I kind of use my finger a little bit here as a measuring, right? Let me get my professional pliers. Go ahead and roll that beautiful bean footage. Okay. And so then we're just going to come in here, and we're just going to break that neck a little bit and then fix up our loop here. There we go. We got our simple loop, which isn't always simple. Right, my friends? I will take a wrap loop over a simple loop any day. And then we're just going to do the same thing here. Bend. And then we're going to cut. Okay, and then we're going to roll. Might be a little too much there. Oops. Okay. We're going to break that neck and bring this loop in. Making sure that's closed, because we are going to put these on jump rings. Just get a little bit of a better centering there. There we go. Looking good, looking good. All right, so we have our 3 stars. Now let's bring our jump rings in. So obviously the 2 on the end are going to just get 1 jump ring each, and then the one in the middle is going to get 3. So I'll do the middle guy first. Sometimes it's easier to do the middle one first because he's got more jump rings. And these are little baby. These are little baby 4mm jump rings. I don't know why. I don't know why I just summoned Camilla Parker. But here we are. Right. And you definitely want to make sure that these loops are closed. And we don't want any... Oh, duh. We said we're doing the middle one first. Call. Get it together. Okay. Okay. That's right. All right. All right then. There we go. There's one. Guys, if you hear a lot of like water swishing around the back, that's my fish tank. I have to do I have to do a water change so bad. And I haven't done a water change. I only have one fish in there, my friends. It is a 75-gallon tank with about a 6-inch catfish, all by himself. He has outlived everybody, and I don't remember me telling you, he had a brother. They are striped Raphaels, and he had a brother, and it was Tupac and Biggie. And unfortunately, Biggie passed away 2 years ago. It was not anything criminal, guys. He died. He passed away in his sleep. It was perfectly peaceful. There was no, anywho's, but Tupac is still hanging out in there by himself, like completely by himself. All right, we're going to put this right on over top of these little seed beads. And, so I sometimes forget, it's just one little fish. Like, he doesn't need a water change. Well, now, like, there's been so much evaporation that he's probably at about 20% down water-wise. So we've got to do some, we have to do better, friends. We have to do better. That's what we have to do. I'm not making excuses. And I want to get, I have this constant debate in my brain. Do I get more fish? And I want to get more fish because I feel bad that he's by himself. And he's this nice catfish, guys. Striped Raphaels aren't aggressive. So he's a nice catfish. So I know he would get along with friends. But the problem is that I want to move within the next year. And when I moved here, guys, when I lived in Philadelphia, I had 4 fish tanks. So I had a lot of fish in them. And so I had to move all my fish here. And I am proud to tell you, friends, that I did not lose one single fish. As a matter of fact, when I was draining my tanks in Philly right before we were set to move, I found baby guppies in one of my tanks that I didn't know about. And they ate this. I was able to save 7. I don't know how many I sucked out emptying the tank because I didn't know they were there. But I wound up saving 7, and they all made it. They're no longer here. I mean, it's been 8 years, but Tupac is not from Philly. Tupac is from here. And so was Biggie. They were from here. And I think I've had Tupac about 6 years now. Yeah. He was a lot smaller than Biggie, and that's why he got that name. Biggie was like huge. And Tupac's just a little guy. 6 inches, but when I tell you Biggie was 9 inches, I'm not exaggerating. And he was fat. Like, he just was fat. I'm not calling anybody out. I'm just saying. But yeah. So I kind of just want to retire this fish tank, if I'm being honest, because it's a 75-gallon tank, which is a pretty decent sized tank for a home aquarium anyway. I know people have much bigger ones, but 75 is a respectable size. And so we have that, the electricity, the maintenance, which I've not been doing great with because I'm just taking advantage of the fact that I've only got one fish. But when he passes peacefully in his sleep, we're hoping to retire the fish tank until, we move and then we can set it back up in Philly. But guys, I don't want to move any fish with me. I'm done moving fish. Moving fish is not fun. So, all right, guys, let's put our ear wire on. I just got totally off topic there. Yeah. I also had a turtle, which we donated to the zoo out here, along with my goldfish, because they all got too big. My goldfish outgrew the 75-gallon tank. I had 5 of them in there. My goldfish, rather. Did I say goldfish? Goldfish. My biggest goldfish was 13 inches long. Goldfish get really big, guys. If you've never had goldfish and you think I'm lying, it's because you probably had goldfish in a bowl or a really small tank. And when they're in a bowl and a really small tank, they don't live long. But when you put them in a big tank and you take care of them, they get huge. So they got donated and put into the pond with the turtle. Now, I don't think the turtle could eat them because they were a lot bigger, but I'm not saying he didn't. So anyway, here are our earrings. Wayne didn't like the turtle. He was a very aggressive turtle. He was a red-eared slider, and he was a rescue. I used to be a manager at PetSmart, and people would People are just the worst sometimes. And they left him in the doorway in a pot. I swear to God, guys, I cannot make this up. They left him in a soup pot in January in Philadelphia in the foyer. He was half frozen when we found him. But I brought him back to life, but he was not he was not a nice dude, and rightfully so. I didn't blame him, right? Anyway, his name was Donatello. That was Donnie. Yes, that's the purple Ninja Turtle. Yes, shocker, I know. All right, guys, okay, so this was our fun daytime. Like, I'm just getting way off topic. I'm so chatty this evening. I apologize. But these are our fun, like, daytime, kind of like, yeah, they're the light stars, the light, playful stars. But, guys, stars are not always light and playful. Sometimes they're moody and mysterious. So I also made for us a pair of moody and mysterious. I'm sorry, guys. Mysterious. Hold on, I gotta get a sip of water. I almost lost my life there for a second. All right, you ready? Moody and mysterious. Look at all our stars. Okay, so here we go. And again, we are not using these, so I probably could have cleaned these up. I didn't because I thought we were using them, but we're not. So let me just go ahead and vacuum these up real quick. Uh-oh. I got a seed bead in there. A blue one. That's okay. And there we go. And we'll put these off to the side. Hence, we don't knock them over. Okay. Let's bring in this cup with our ingredients. And for this earring, my friends, we are using some eye pins. Again, we're using some ball head pins, but instead of silver, guys, I've gone with gunmetal. So we've got some gunmetal ball head pins, and you're going to need, I think, 10 of those. We are using all 10 of these little black onyx stars. I've wrapped a couple up for us for right now, for time's sake. So you're going to be using all 10. You're going to use 5 on each side. We are going to be using 4 of these marquees. This is a 10 millimeter, this is a 10 millimeter 18 gauge stainless steel jump ring. And then we have 2 eye pins. What are we doing? How many jump rings are we doing? We are doing some jump rings, friends. So I have a whole bunch of jump rings. We'll count those in a minute. Okay. And we're also, again, using these seed beads over here. All right, so let's get to this. So this is just a fun little, first let's wrap these stars. So this earring, we're going to work from the bottom up. So we're going to wrap our stars. So I have 2 stars here for us to wrap. So this is just a little head pin. And you're going to put your star on there. And we're going to make a wrap loop. So we're going to go ahead. And instead of chomping down, we're going to bend over the mandrel. And then I'm going to bring these in because I want kind of smaller loops, and these are a little bit smaller, right? Bending that wire over, flipping that around, and then bringing your wire back on this side, okay? And that's a little funky looking, but that's why we bring this back down and center that up, okay? And then we're just doing... I'm just mangling this one. Usually it lets me spin it around, but this one is a little bit maybe different. I don't know. It feels a little thicker than the other ones. Unless I grab the wrong head pins, which is entirely possible. All right, guys. Now you want to be very careful in this area, closing this guy down, because just because these guys are gemstones, because these are onyx, does not mean that they don't crack, especially when you have something with a point or a vulnerable, like a point is kind of vulnerable. So you want to make sure that you're being careful and you're not cracking that. Okay, they don't have to be perfect. Nobody's going to be that close. They're tiny. Okay, so give yourself a break and just make them as magically as you want. Okay, I'm going to take this one again. Bending that wire over, right, over and around, moving that down a little bit. Okay, taking our wire here, centering that up. What did you do, Kyle? Hold on. There we go. There we go. Okay. Oh, see this one? See how that one just spiraled up real quick? Yeah, I think that other one might have been maybe a little bit thicker of a gauge. And maybe it got mixed up in the crowd. And of course, I spiraled this all up so now I can't see it to cut it. Way to go, Kyle. You did real good, girl. Okay, there we go. All right, let's find his little pokey dude. Again, being careful. There we go. All right, so we have all of our stars done. Now, let's see. Okay, so we are doing an asymmetrical. So this side has 3, and then this side has 2. So we're going to go ahead and use our jump rings. So again, these are 4mm jump rings in the gunmetal. All right. And we're going to put one on one. I put one on every one, right? Or did I just put... No, okay. They don't all get jump rings. 2 of them do not get jump rings. So that is this side. So these 2 are for this side. So one is not on a jump ring and one is on a jump ring. And then we're going to have one on this side that is not on a jump ring. And then we're going to put jump rings on these 2. So one of these will get 2 jump rings and the other one will get 3 jump rings. Or is it 1 jump? 1 jump ring and 3 jump rings. I'm sorry, friends. I just put them together last night. You would think I would remember. So 1 jump ring. So we have 2 with 1 jump ring. 1 for each side. Okay. And then this guy gets 3 jump rings. Because we want him just to hang down a little bit further. All right, that's 1. Have you guys been checking out the Gem Fest over there at Sam's Bead Shop? It was so much fun today. And then Shira did a pearl class. That was really interesting. Because, guys, I'm like... I have, of course, knotted pearls many times. I've been commissioned to knot pearls. I've, knotted pearls for money. But I usually use the knotting tool, or I use like an awl. I've never done the tweezer method, and Shira made it look like I think I can probably do that. I was always scared to do that because I think I tried it once and it just didn't work out or something. I don't remember, but Shira made it look pretty painless, so I think Carl might be trying that again. We'll see. And then maybe I'll make a mala necklace. I've been wanting to make one for a while. Oh, and then our beautiful friend Lori, she sent me a picture of a mala necklace. I keep saying nala. A mala necklace that she made, and now I'm totally inspired, my friends. Totally inspired. All right, so we have all of our dudes here. Okay, everybody's accounted for. So now we're going to start to build our earring. So we're going to take 2 of these eye pins. I put 3 just in case we have a malfunction. And we're going to open them up. And what you want to do is, so with this side, we're going to put the one with the 3 jump rings. No, that's right. This one goes first. The one without the jump ring goes first because he's going to be up front. And then the one with the jump ring goes behind him. And then the one with the 3 jump rings goes behind him. Okay, that's one side, and it will close. I promise. Okay, and you want to make sure that this eye pin is very, very close. Now, guys, if you want to just take wire and you want to make wrap loops, so they won't open. If you don't really like using eye pins, you can totally do that as well. But you need to have this loop down here for your dangles, right? Okay, so we're gonna put on our 1 single dude without the jump ring first, maybe, possibly, and then the jump ring fella. Okay, and then we're gonna go ahead and close that, making sure that that is very, very closed. Okay, and this is what we have. All right, so now we're gonna go ahead, and it looks like I put on one of these gorgeous, I forget the exact name of them, guys, but they are the lined. I'll put the link in the description box if you guys want to grab them. They're so pretty. So you're gonna grab one of those on each, and then we're gonna put on our first marquee. So guys, if you want to do this by sides, you certainly can. So if you want to do one side, you can do one side at a time. You can do them at the same time. It's completely up to you. I will probably do them at this, you know what, I'm going to do them one at a time because it's easier to make the loop if you do them one at a time. So that's what we're going to do. But you want to make sure that you're, you know, doing them on the right way. So this is the front of our loop and the front of our little guy here. All right, and then we're going to do 2 and then 3 after the second marquee. So 2 in the middle, or any seed bead you want, whatever you want to do, and then we're going to drop on our other marquee. Okay, and then we're going to do 3. So we're going to do 1, 2 and a half, 1 and a half. Why are you not going on there? The other ones went on. I don't know. And that's 1, 2, and then a third. Okay, so that's what you have. And now this is where it's really important. You want to make sure your loops are lined up because you want your loops going in the same direction. Okay, so my loop is going in the same direction as my bottom loop, and we are again doing simple loops here. I'm just going to spin these around so it's easier for me to hold on to, and then I'm just going to bend, bend, bend. Okay, and then we'll just cut a little bit off here. And I bent the wrong way again. I forgot I was supposed to. It's fine, friends. It doesn't matter which way you bend, but I would have rather bent the other way. Now we're just going to roll our loop. Okay, we're just going to keep rolling and until it meets up with that seed bead, and then we're going to go ahead, looking pretty good. We're just going to break this back a little, just a tiny bit. Okay, and that's looking good. And it might bend a little on you. You can just kind of fix it with your fingers. Okay, so that's what we have for our first one. Again, let's just kind of, there we go. How's that looking? Looking good to me. All right, and then we're gonna put this guy on now. So what I like to do with this guy is I will, of course, because I've already got the seed bead on, I will go ahead and put him up through that hole. And then I'll come over here, I'll swing this other one out of the way, and I'll come over here and I'll pick up my other 2 seed beads that go in the middle. And then I'll pull this pin down a little bit, just until it gets to those seed beads, and then go ahead and put that through that hole. No fuss, no muss, no problem. Okay, and then we're going to do 3 seed beads up here. 1, 2, 3. And then you guys can tell me at the end if you want. You don't have to. Which ones were your favorite? All right, so I'm actually going to make the bend on the right side of this one. So making sure that our loops are, it's very important that the loops are all going the right way. Okay, they're all facing the same direction. Very important. And that's fine. I guess I'll just use these. And get your little plier in there. Chomp, chomp, chomp. Okay. Did one of them just pop off? No. Okay. Okay, we're just going to cut a little bit here. And then we are going to roll this guy back. Okay, slowly. Right. And he's going to nestle right in there. And that is looking good. That's a good looking loop. Let's just break the neck a teeny tiny bit. So when you break the neck, guys, that's basically just centering it, right? Okay, go ahead and center that. Make sure those loops are looking good, about the same size. And then we don't want nobody bent, right? We don't want nobody bent out of shape. Okay, they're going in the same direction. All right, good times, good times. So this is the basic earring here, and then we're just going to take this large jump ring. And we're going to go ahead and open that. Okay. And then we're going to stick it, making sure they're going the right way. Stick that right through both loops. And then we're going to stick our ear wire on. And then call that a day. And guys, next week for our black challenge, I have a bracelet using the black. I know there's going to be some blue in it, friends, but it's going to be predominantly black. We're going to be using a lot of the onyx, and we're also going to be using that fire agate. And I'm super excited to tell you guys we're going to be using the dragon. So it's going to be a dragon fire agate. It's going to be so great. But that's going to be for our next week challenge. But we have more stuff coming up, my friends. So here they are. There is your Midnight Fury earrings. Did I make them asymmetrical? No, of course I didn't. That's okay. Oh, I did. No, I mean not asymmetrical. I did. I mirrored them. Yay! I was hoping I would do that. So the three are on the inside. So there is your evening pair of star earrings, and here's your your daytime pair of star earrings. And you guys have the dubious task of telling me which one you like better. So let me just bring it down a little so you can really see them. And you tell me, guys, which one do you like better? I personally, if I had to pick, I like these better, but I like them both. So guys, I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you go over into the Gemstone Orphanage Facebook group and you start joining in on the contest with us. It's so much fun. Even if you're a little bit shy about posting your jewelry, or guys, if you don't, because I know not everybody has Facebook. I was going to talk to Miss Debbie about if the friends that don't have Facebook, if you still want to participate in the challenge, then maybe you guys can send me your pictures and I'll post them. And so this way you can participate too. But I'm going to have to run that by Miss Debbie because she is the owner, my friends. It's just out of respect. But I will do that. And I will be back with you hopefully tomorrow if the weather's not too bad. And we have, oh my gosh, you guys, we have an amazing bracelet with the new Sam's Bead box. So I cannot wait to unroll that one. So, but until then, my friends, let me pull you back up a little. Keep planting your magical beans and keep being kind to yourselves and each other. Keep glowing and growing. I am so proud of every single one of you. I just want you to know that every single day. All right, my friends. Bye.